Hey, welcome to the party. You found the Mouse Castle Lounge, your home for cocktails and conversations from the worlds of Disney and beyond. Visit us at themousecastle.com. Follow us at Mouse Castle Show on Twitter and the Mouse Castle on Facebook and Instagram. Your table is waiting, and drinks are now being served. Don't be shy. Come on in. Let's get to it. Here are your hosts, the keepers of the Mouse Castle Lounge, Tim Calloway and Anthony Reynolds.
Welcome to the Mouse Castle Lounge. I am Tim Calloway.
And I am Anthony Reynolds. It is May 28th, 2021.
And we are your weekly dose of Disney news, information, and commentary. And we actually did a show 2 weeks in a row, so we're really rolling this time.
What? We do 3 more, we get 1 free.
Woohoo! And hey, what's coming up today anyway?
Well, we're going to talk Disney movies today. We got Cruella, which just came out. We have Jungle Cruise with a new trailer. Also talk a little Jungle Cruise in the park, also Avengers Campus coming up, and we might dive a little bit into some Universal stuff, because, you know, I have to. I'm a Universal stan. But that's all coming up in the Mouse Castle Lounge.
So you're eating Arby's right now, aren't you?
Oh my God. So I'm a big fan. I don't know. I feel like ever since Fargo, maybe it's in my brain that it's a Minnesota thing. But I tweeted out today that Arby's, I believe, is the most misunderstood fast food restaurant, and it is absolutely worthy of our respect.
Now, see, I'm a big Jon Stewart fan. Back in the day when he was on the Daily Show, and he had an ongoing war with Arby's. I mean, he would trash them every opportunity he got, and it got to the point that Arby's was loving the attention.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, and they paid him the nicest tribute when he did his last show a few years ago, because he had created so much free publicity for him, even though he ragged on him every chance he got. It was awesome. I don't know. I've got kind of a love-hate relationship with Arby's, but yeah, I don't know. Some of it I like, some of it not.
Like I was talking to my boyfriend, and it's basically, you know, you have the holy trinity of fast food. You have burgers, you have chicken strips, you have Taco Bell or Chipotle or something like that. And that's basically the main 3 people cycle through. So what do you do when you're tired of all those? You got Arby's. You got your beef and cheddar. They have gyros there. They have a spicy gyro now, and it's amazing.
They have curly fries.
I love it. Yes. So I'm not a big fry person. I'm not for me, any kind of potato is 100% filler. If there's an option for onion rings or anything else, I'm always getting that. However, Arby's, they are my favorite fry of the fast food people, because I like the flavor. They're usually crispier than most fries are typically. And they're just good. And I like to dip them in horsey sauce, because that horsey sauce, it's amazing. It's so good. Oh my God, I want Arby's again. I'll be right back. I gotta go get more.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
And if you want to read more about Arby's, you need to follow Anthony on his personal Twitter account. And what is that?
It's TUI 717.
Yes.
So yeah, TUI717. You can follow me there. I have a lot of strong opinions about Arby's. Also, here's a life hack for you people. If you are like me and you like crispy potatoes, guess what? I have an air fryer. It's fine, whatever. Whenever I get fries from a fast food place, I throw them onto the air fryer for like another 3 minutes and really crisp up those puppies.
All right. You know, you need to change the name of your Twitter account to Arby's Stan.
Yeah, I thought about it, but... Yeah, I guess I could. No, I like seeing Rick Moranis' face. If Rick Moranis did like a thing for Arby's, I probably would I'd become an Arby's Stan account. Just because it's all about Rick Moranis right now for me.
For people who aren't following you, you've got a Honey, I Shrunk the Audience Stan account.
Yes, I am the Honey, I Shrunk. And what I was doing was I was rotating it like every month. Like I started off as the Mission Space Stan account, which unironically, because I do love that ride. Most people don't, but I think that's unfair, because you're just judging it on what it replaced. Mission Space is a fantastic ride.
Why don't people... am I missing something? Mission Space is fantastic.
It is fantastic. People hate it, though, because it replaced Horizons.
You know, Horizons was nice, and there's a lot of nostalgia for it, and it was cool, but Mission Space is better.
I think for thrills it is. I don't believe that the
Horizons did not have Gary Sinise.
It didn't. Well, now Mission Space doesn't have Gary Sinise.
I know.
They replaced it. What's her name? I can't remember her name. Anyway, yeah. So that was. I honestly, I believe that we should just give Mission Space the ride to Universal Studios. Bring back Horizons, just make everybody happy. And while Universal Studios has it, they bring back Gary Sinise. They make it into an Apollo 13 ride. Everybody's happy.
Boom. Yeah. And Mission Space is the reason why just about everybody on the internet thinks that Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yes, it's because I was on the wall when you walked into Horizons.
Right, and that was written by an Imagineer.
Yeah.
And because it was there, people associated with Walt Disney. So, I mean, you can go on websites that are all about quoting famous people, and they will have in there, yes, Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. No, he didn't.
No, but what he did say
all.
is that there's a sort of natural hoochie coochie movement to a goldfish.
Yes, and he really liked Arby's.
No, but that is seriously my favorite Walt Disney quote, because he was talking about animating Cleo from Pinocchio. And so whenever anybody asks me, what's your favorite quote? You always get these inspirational ones, and I'm just, there's a natural hoochie coochie movement to a goldfish. Walt Disney.
I'm going to ask you to cite that. I want to know where you found it.
It's all over. Look, hold on. I want to Google it. Hold on, you guys.
It's on the internet, so it must be true.
Okay. Now we're natural hoochie coochie movement. That's what I'm to a goldfish. Let's see. Okay, well, that's not bringing up anything. Walt Disney goldfish quote. This is great listening right now. Everybody loves this.
It is.
Yeah, well, Goodreads.com has it. There's a natural hoochie coochie motion to a goldfish. Quote fancy. So it may have been misquoted, but I truly believe that he said it, and I want to believe that he said it.
I know there's some things you just want to believe that he said, and I'm good with that. See, my favorite Walt Disney quote is, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible," and I have the magazine with the article in it where he was originally quoted saying that, so I know that's a real thing. And do you know what Walt was talking about when he said it's kind of fun to do the impossible?
What?
The Rainbow Caverns on the old mine train at Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could tell you the whole story. We have time, right?
No, we have time. Our episodes run short usually, so yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. It came about because when they were designing the Rainbow Caverns back in the day, he wanted this very colorful, very fanciful, magical looking cavern with all these glow in the dark effects and things like that. Mm-hmm. And what the original plan is they would paint the rocks all these bright fluorescent colors, and that would be the source of the effect. But what they found out is, since there were waterfalls and different pools and ponds and whatever in there, it was wearing off all the paint. Mm-hmm. And he had all of his Imagineers working on it, and he consulted with all these experts and everything, and one of them said, I don't remember exactly who, someone said, there's just no way you're going to be able to do it. It's impossible. And Walt says, well, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. Do you know what the solution was?
Oof, I don't know. Something with black lights. I don't know.
You colored the water, not the rocks.
Ooh. That doesn't make sense.
And that is the source of that quote. And for there's still a tribute to the Rainbow Caverns. Mm-hmm. If you're riding Big Thunder Mountain Railway, when you go up the lift hill, if you look off to the right, all those bubbling pools are a tribute to the original Rainbow Caverns.
And that kind of reminds me a bit of the when they did like the submarine, the Nemo thing, because they had the same problem. The color, the paint, and everything was fading from the the lagoon that they had there. Mm-hmm. And so I think their solution there was to, I think it was colored glass. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so there's always, life will find a way, I guess.
Yes.
Or Imagineers will.
Yes. And just because they could do it doesn't mean they should do it.
How dare you paint glass?
Damn you. So yeah, anyway, getting back on track, movies. We got movies coming out. Yay. Disney always has movies coming out. And in fact, one that is coming out today, actually, Friday on Disney Plus. And this movies like this, I'm automatically skeptical over. The one that's coming out today is Cruella.
Mhm.
And that is with Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, two of my favorite Emmas.
Why could they not get Watson?
Apparently not, unless she's got a cameo. She plays a Dalmatian.
There you go.
But this is Cruella DeVille's origin story. Now, I have problems when you do not origin stories in general, but origin stories about villains.
Yeah.
It is one of the many reasons I'm not a fan of the first 3 episodes of Star Wars, the prequel trilogy. It's why I don't like the Maleficent movies. As wonderful as Angelina Jolie is cast in that role, I want my evil to stay evil. Okay, I don't want to hear that Darth Vader has had a troubled childhood in slavery. I really don't. I don't want to know that deep down inside Maleficent has a good heart. No, I want my evil to stay evil. So that makes me automatically skeptical about Cruella.
I mean, because I watched the trailer, it looks all right. It just, I can't shake the feeling that it's like very Jokerish. You know, like it just reminds me a lot of that.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, maybe if it had like an R rating, they could have a little bit more fun with it. But like, I don't think that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what I want an R. Well, maybe I do want an R-rated Cruella movie. That'd be kind of badass. I feel like this whole thing it's well-worn territory as far as backstory to villains, and then Disney maybe even making it so they're less villainish. Like, Like, Maleficent is like the epitome of evil. She's pure evil. And now it's like, oh, no, now she's just a sad lady.
She's just misunderstood.
Oh, God. It's, yeah.
I dislike that. Now, one significant change that they're making to Cruella, which I understand why they did it, but already I'm annoyed by it. One of Cruella DeVille's trademarks, and that was in 101 Dalmatians and also in the live action versions with Glenn Close, is she always had this very long cigarette holder.
And now it's a very long jewel.
Yes. Disney does not show smoking in their movies at all.
No.
I mean, that's like a studio policy that none of their characters in any of the movies they release will smoke. So Cruella DeVille does not smoke in the new Cruella movie with Emma Stone.
So, yeah, maybe she gets a vape. No, now she just has a big vape juice thing. She's always filling it.
She wears the patch.
She has nicotine patches. She has a, just talking about her.
It's already not working, right? Although I did read one review of it that was quite favorable. They said it was good fun.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. Yeah,
it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
I'll watch it.
I love, like I said, I love the two Emmas, and Emma Thompson. I've had a crush on her for many years. So yeah, this is a movie that I would see just for the cast. So,
and I think it says you have to kind of compartmentalize. Oh my God, you have to compartmentalize. Is that what's that word?
You got to compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize.
What you talking about?
Well, you have to basically. I'm just done. Okay. Let's go back from the beginning of that statement here. You have to look at these movies, and it's like, I have to train my brain to realize just because they're rewriting this character doesn't mean it has to affect the older movies, especially with like that much space in between them. But like, I can't help but be like, oh well, now she's ruined. But no, she's not. That movie's still there. I can just ignore the rest of them.
You ruined my childhood.
Oh no, my Cruella. She was my idol.
My Cruella.
And now she's nice. Oh.
Yeah. No, actually, if you look at the trailer, she does not look nice at all. This does look like evil against evil, and it's like, okay. It's like, don't screw it up.
Let's just keep it this way. Let's keep this origins. She has to get worse. That's the whole thing with this movie. She can start off. Also, it's very Catwoman-y to me, too. Like, he starts off as...
Oh, don't say that. You're not talking like Halle Berry? No. Are we talking Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman-y, or are we talking Halle Berry Catwoman-y?
It's kind of it's a whole thing where it's just like, oh, even like Wonder Woman kind of got criticized for that. Because at the beginning of this, she's just kind of modest. She's got glasses on and everything. And then suddenly her origin kicks in, and now she's glasses off, badass, and all that. I mean, it's...
And no one recognizes her, just like Clark Kent.
So, Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching it. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be what it is.
We'll give it a go. All right.
Yeah. So and then also Jungle Cruise has that new trailer out.
Yeah, and this is kind of funny. I was looking at that trailer and it said trailer 2, and I honestly could not remember the first trailer. The first trailer was released a year ago last March, so It was like pre-pandemic, and it was still like scheduled for a July release date last year, before everything went to hell and got shut down. And now we have the second full trailer, and it also has a July release date. But I'm kind of intrigued by it. It kind of has a African Queen, Humphrey Bogart, Katharine Hepburn meets The Mummy meets Indiana Jones vibe to it. And I'm kind of liking it. I've been impressed with what I've seen in the trailers.
Who the director is? Okay, so I don't know who that. Because I was wondering if it was if it was Gore Verbinski again, because it really has trying to recreate pirates and that whole thing.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. I think he's moved on from that. I don't.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's not him.
Verbinski thing.
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Jaume Collet-Serra. I should really do research when I look into stuff like that. But he's also directing Black Adam coming up too, so I mean, he's got credits. But it just when it got to because spoiler alert, I mean it's a trailer, but I mean I don't know. Did you watch the first trailer recently? Like, do you remember? Like, I went back
and I looked at the first trailer again.
Okay, did they reference the supernatural stuff in that one?
It's not. Yeah, and that was the other part of it. It also has kind of an Avatar feel to it. Where there's thing. this tree of life thing, yes. and it is referenced in the first trailer and in the second trailer.
Maewa. The Shaman Songs, is she going to be in it from Navi River Journey?
No, she is not.
Oh, that sucks.
Get that out of your head.
I know, but it turned into the bug people, though. I'm just like, this is all just, you're in a ghost story, Miss Turner, all over again.
You best be believing in ghost stories now, Miss Turner. You're in one.
You're in one. And that's, I don't know, it just seems a little too, well, so right as I checked out, I was like, okay, this is kind of whatever. I don't know. This is going to be probably all, like, you're hoping it's going to be Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's probably just going to be like Lone Ranger minus the cannibalism.
No,
but,
no, don't say Lone Ranger. No.
But so right as I was kind of like, I don't know about this movie, then they bring in Jesse Plemons in a submarine with a German accent, and then I was just like, okay, I'm back now. I'll watch this maybe.
And I don't know what part he's playing, but Paul Giamatti's in it. Edgar Ramirez is in it.
What if Paul Giamatti's just Rhino again from The Amazing Spider-Man 2? He's just...
I'm thinking more like John Adams. That would be cool.
I'm picturing him in that giant mech suit and then like poking the people up the pole again. Oh God! Do you remember Amazing Spider-Man 2? That movie sucked.
Yes. In fact, didn't in the previous incarnation of our show, didn't we almost dedicate an entire episode to that?
We probably did. It was so
just
bad.
How bad it was.
Specifically that Rhino thing. They teased that in the trailer. It's like, okay, that fight's coming up, and then in the movie ends with that. So there was no fight. They teased a fight, and you saw everything that there was in the trailer.
Well, they could still bring him back in the new Spider-Man ones, can't they?
Yeah, they could. I mean, they got to do a lot of retconning there. That was a dumpster fire of a movie. Anyway,
but speaking of Jungle Cruise,
yeah. So the Jungle Cruise in Disneyland. So Disneyland, of course, is open. That's the other thing. Speaking of that, I think June 15th they're opening it up to out-of-state guests.
And I know. And are they going full capacity, or is it still limited capacity and you still have to make a reservation? But I think people like you and me that live outside the confines can go.
I think it's capacity, a limited capacity, and then reservations still. So I think you still have to follow all the rules. Whereas like Universal Hollywood, they are currently open to out-of-state guests that are vaccinated, but you can only do tickets at the gate.
Okay.
So Universal Hollywood, if you are vaccinated out of state, good luck. Just show up and hope they let you in. June 15th, Disneyland opening up to more people. I'm so tempted, but I don't know. But Even more things opening up in Disneyland. Jungle Cruise that we were just speaking about, the movie, the Jungle Cruise ride is going to be reopening July 16th at Disneyland. That, of course, has been closed, this whole time. But they're redoing.
It wasn't open when the park was closed? It
was the only ride open. All the culturally offensive rides were open. You can go in there. You could ride Jungle Cruise. You could go ahead and ride Splash Mountain. They brought back some special scenes from Pirates of the Caribbean for you.
Nice.
The Haunted Mansion, it was just the guy hanging himself, and that was it. So it was a good time. And then at the Peter Pan ride, when you go to the Native American village, that was the only part that was lit up. Everything else was dark, and then you just kind of kept going. Anyway, and then of course Prince Charming waking up Snow White without her consent. That's all part of the dark Disney.
That's totally.
But no, yeah. So the Jungle Cruise. While this, I think, because they announced the redo that they were doing while it was closed, right? Like it wasn't. Was it? It wasn't.
Yeah. They've been working on this for a while, and whether the pandemic presented an opportunity or not, I guess this was something that they had been working on for a while.
And I think we touched.
So Jungle Cruise probably would have been shut down for a time.
And I think we touched on it too in an earlier episode. But I'm 100% supportive of this change because the ride itself, it's got as long as it hits the the good jokes that are classic, I'm fine with it. But it needs an overhaul. It really does. And so luckily, Kevin Lively is the Imagineer who's kind of spearheading that. He is a former... Lively, yes. He's a former Jungle Cruise skipper, too. So, I mean, he's got that on his resume. But I was kind of reading about what he's done, and I'm very hopeful because he's done some great stuff. He did the Jingle Cruise at Disneyland. I don't know. Did you ever experience that?
I did not.
So the first year I did not go to it, but I think the reviews were really mixed. The second year, though, I think they adjusted some stuff. They added more jokes. They did stuff like that. And that one I did go on, and that was really enjoyable. In fact, it was kind of refreshing to go through this ride that you've done over and over and over and have something. It was a welcome overlay, I think. It's pretty well done. And it was there for an appropriate amount of time. It wasn't like Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is there for half a year.
Yeah. Well, because they have to integrate Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah,
so
it's like just let me have Halloween.
Fall.
I just want Halloween. I want to go to Haunted Mansion on Halloween and not go to Florida.
Yeah.
Other stuff Kevin's done. He did the Tropical Hideaway, which I think is a huge step up for that area. It's just amazing. Have you been there?
I have not been to Disneyland in such a long time. It is troubling. How long it has been since I've been to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's where they had the Aladdin's Oasis thing that nobody ever really went to. And so that was definitely taking.
Well, I mean, it was just a vacant space. They used it for private events sometimes.
I think
special
like a
events.
Phantasmic dining package, I think, was one of the things. But it was never used for I don't recall a time that it was used for actual Aladdin's Oasis. I don't know if there was a show. I don't know anything about that. It was just something you walked by. So they made the incredible decision to make this a full-on Dole Whip stop with foods and everything. I mean, it's a step up, and it's pretty good. And they got an animatronic there, which, if I'm in a dining place with an animatronic, I'm happy.
There you go.
I just like to eat around robots. That's all I want. And he also did
because humans not so much.
Yep.
Robots, bring them.
They're not going to cough on me, these robots. And he also did
they don't have to wear masks.
He did the Skipper Canteen restaurant at Magic Kingdom, and I have not experienced that, but that's always been one of the ones that intrigues me because I kind of like that. I kind of want a sit down vibe. I've always kind of wanted a sit down restaurant in Adventureland. It's kind of a
it was there a long time ago, and they got rid of it. The Tahitian Terrace.
That's right. And then they had it was supposed to be the Enchanted Tiki Room. That's why they have bathrooms.
Right. Yeah. Because the Enchanted Tiki Room was originally going to be a dinner show.
Yeah. So I need to next time I go to Magic Kingdom. That's where I need to go. Is that because I've heard good things about the Skipper Canteen as well. But some of the changes they're bringing in, like the biggest one obviously is going to be Trader Sam, the headhunter. He's now kind of a manager of the jungle navigation company or whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of a guide, I guess.
Yes, and I think the gift shop is going to be like the lost and found and stuff like that. And that's smart to do.
Exit through the gift shop. There you go.
Yeah, but getting rid of a headhunter is definitely. I can't believe it lasted as long as it did, to be honest.
And the tribesmen that were kind of hopping around in a circle. Yeah,
I'm sure the blowgun people are going to be gone.
That was not aging well.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff, and it's weird that they quickly amended this, because I don't think that it was in the spotlight yet. I don't think. Because I think Pirates started to get a little bit of heat with that scene before they did it. But I think Jungle Cruise, I think people were just kind of starting to be like, hey, wait a minute. And then it. So, yeah, so they kind of got ahead on that one, which is smart. And if it's to be believed, I've seen on one of the forums, somebody apparently, quote unquote, leaked a list of all the attractions that Disney has out there that they are internally talking about, adjusting. And it's like, okay.
Now, There's still a cigar store Indian on Main Street, though, right?
There is, yes.
And it looks totally out of place where it is. Back in the day, people of another generation, you would find the cigar store Indian in front of a tobacconist shop, and there used to be a tobacconist shop on Main Street, and that was where the cigar store Indian was.
I need to go back there, go to the Wizard of Bras, and get the lingerie shop.
There you go. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, let's go back to a time when stores on Main Street all didn't sell the exact same merchandise. Yeah, let's see. What other inappropriate things are still there? Well, you can't shoot rifles from atop of Fort Wilderness now anymore.
You can't even go to Fort Wilderness anymore.
Can't even go to Fort Wilderness because that's where they. Well, there was a couple of reasons. One, the whole structure was rotting, and they had to rebuild it with artificial logs, and now they just use it for storage for Fantasmic.
Yeah, it's like Fantasmic staging or something.
But I've got film. Then my dad shot 8mm film from Disneyland a lot in the 60s when I was a wee lad, and I do have footage of inside Fort Wilderness, and there were little areas on the top where you could shoot rifles, little air rifles at whatever happened to go by. Other guests, the Mark Twain, the Columbia. You could just shoot at whatever your little heart desired with that little air rifle at the top.
I remember. It was either Disney World or it was Disneyland, but I do remember going to. When I was a kid, going to one of the forts on the island, and I don't know which one that would have been. But I remember. I think there was some kind of like a, and I feel like wasn't there like a slit in the window, like it was like a little small opening, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And that was kind of true to how forts, back in Old West days and frontier days, were made. You had the little thin slits at the top of the towers there, so you could see out, but no one could see you.
Gave you cover,
and, gave you cover. There you go. Wow.
Yeah. So then one of the bigger additions to the Jungle Cruise is an animatronic skipper named Felix Penchman the 13th. So
the 13th.
Yes, he's going to be just a very unlucky individual, I guess. So okay. Sounds like they're bringing some supernatural stuff into this. They're bringing in, luck and all that. So I don't know.
Is he going to be like Shrunken Ned? Is that like the equivalent there?
I don't know. I think I'm imagining he's going to be a lot like the if you've ever been on I know you probably haven't. They have the Kong ride at Universal where they just have so you're in like a
screens.
It is screens, but the payoff on Kong is that there is a giant animatronic Kong head at the end. So it's way better than Fast and the Furious Supercharged, but also in the vehicle, because you're in like a jungle transport truck kind of thing as you're going through Skull Island. Each vehicle has a different driver who plays like the recording, but it's like an animatronic driver in the front. It's not very articulated, but like it turns its head and you can kind of see it moving as it talks. So that's what I'm just kind of imagining they're gonna have there, just a kind of a just a slow moving.
So kind of like the this is going to be the second week in a row that I've made a Total Recall reference. So it's going to be kind of like the robot cab driver in Total Recall, right?
I mean, I still haven't seen. Second week in a row, I'm saying I haven't seen it, but but yeah, sure.
Would you see that?
I'll
movie?
take that cab driver over Swifty LaRue and coming out behind a screen. Oh God. Well, on the other side of the Disneyland Resort, the Avengers Campus is getting ready to open up in Disney California Adventure pretty quickly here, actually. June 4th is when that's scheduled. Friday. Yes, that's coming up. And that's one of those crazy things that's just kind of been, it was scheduled to open last summer, but I think they just kind of delayed it. But all these things have just been kind of sitting there almost at the verge of ready to be open for a year, and they're just kind of sitting there. So that's going to open June 4th, and included in that is going to be Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, of course.
Woo! A shoot 'em up style game.
Yes, which is going to be.
Why do so many new rides have to be games?
I don't
have to be like big video games.
I don't want to stress. I just want to enjoy my surroundings.
I know. I want a totally passive experience.
That's why.
Well, I guess you could choose not to web sling and just sit there and look at everything go by. But
I'm a millennial, and I'll have the fear of missing out, and I don't want to have FOMO on this ride.
Damn it.
And then they have the, I don't know if we talked about it, but they have upgrades now. Because, you can shoot the webs or whatever, but you can buy, add-on stuff to unlock things in the game. So you can pay to play on this thing now. And then I read
Okay, can I say that's just wrong?
It is. Yeah. But I don't know how different it is from, the wands at Universal, though.
So your level of enjoyment is based entirely on your ability to pay for it.
Until somebody hacks the chip or the RFID thing, and then you can just do it yourself anytime with a cell phone.
Yeah.
But
it'll be on Reddit any day now. Yeah,
I'm hoping. And then I read an article. I think it was on WDW News Today, or maybe it was Blog Mickey. One of those two. They talked about how the web slinger things are more or less a failed toy experiment that they released a year or two ago, and then it kind of went away, and now these toys are coming back, and they're almost identical to that failed toy. So
I think I know what you're talking about. I do remember.
Tonics.
In fact, it may go back a few years. We may have actually talked about it back in the day.
Yeah.
On an earlier version of Inside the Mouse Castle. That they were releasing these toys, and it was kind of working in sort of a Pokemon. Pokemon Go interaction where there are creatures or bad guys that appear on the screen, and you can use these toys to fight them or interact with them. I vaguely
what's funny is
that.
I think that at the time wasn't Bob Chapek in charge of merchandise and stuff like that, and now he's in charge of the parks, so they're just kind of upcycling it, or somebody's trying to appease to him, I guess.
I'm gonna get these toys in the park one way or another, damn it.
I got a garage full of them. Just imagine that. But yeah, so that's and now the other thing about it is there's a lot of feelings about how the queues are supposed to work at Disney. And one of the biggest, depending on who you talk to, it's a failing or a success, is the virtual queue system that they have for Rise of the Resistance at both parks, where you have to get a boarding group and you got to go back and
I think anticipating the interest and the amount of crowds, even though the park won't be at capacity, I don't know. I like the idea of the virtual queues. I think it's actually might be even easier to plan your day.
It is, but it isn't, because there's a good chance, with Rise of the Resistance, that you could spend all that money to go to that park, which used to be my favorite, but now there's not. It's still, even with the additions, it still does not feel like a full day park to me. But there's a good chance you can spend all that money and you end up not getting a boarding group. It happens every day to people. So I think you can get a wider. You're cutting down on the re-rides, but more people are less likely to get on it, I feel, in general. When I went opening week, and that was fantastic because it was first come, first serve. You got into the gate, you signed up. And so you were So it was kind of in your control, but now they have, so for instance, for web slingers, I think 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. are going to be the two times. So you're going to be you have to be on your phone
At
ready
precisely,
to go.
Yeah. Okay. That's
my main thing
okay.
that I don't.
Is it, or is it just
fine tuning?
Is it, or is it just one of those things where there's no really good way to do this? I mean, they're trying to cut down on, people standing in line for 5 hours.
Yes.
When they could be spending money on food and souvenirs elsewhere. And it cuts down on crowds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just feel for the casual vacationer, it makes planning more difficult. Like, I think back on my family trips that we took to, Disney parks in the 90s and everything. That was pretty easy, My mom and dad packed us up, oh, cool, got a line.
We stood in line and we liked it.
And then, one year we showed up and there was Fast Pass. And hey, you know what? Say what you will about Fast Pass, but that was easy to understand.
I liked Fast Pass.
It has a lot of debate about whether or not it inflates the standby line, which I do believe. But that was easy to understand. You just, put my ticket in there. And then Disney upgraded to Max Pass, which was just on the phone, but it was the same kind of thing. You could still go to these. But now it's like, you need to know the ins and outs. Like in the last couple years, the amount of people reaching out to me asking how to do this stuff.
Yeah. Well, even at Walt Disney World, it's coming. They're phasing out magic bands because they want everything to be on the phone. The only way you can use magic bands now is you have to pay for them.
And I never got into the anytime I've gone to Disney, I get the you get the hard plastic ticket, and that does the same thing. I mean, you can't pay for stuff, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I've never gone to the park and felt like I was missing out by not having a magic band.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the whole thing is kind of getting complicated. So I mean, good luck to all these families who are gonna get out there. I'm like, yep, we'll get there.
Damn it! I want to go to the park. I want to stand in line for 5 hours, and I want to go on a ride.
But there's the simplicity of it is still there. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to be like, oh, hey, where's the line for Rise of the Resistance? Oh, that's a virtual line, and there's no more slots. I'm sorry. That conversation probably has to happen at least 100 times a day.
I don't envy cast members that have to deal with that.
No,
there's a long line at City Hall.
Oh yeah, and that's why, like I said, it was. I understand the boarding groups, but I liked it. Even though when I went, I was up at 4 a.m. to line up outside the park at 5, and then I got in and I got maybe it was like 6 or 7, but anyway, we just checked in. I'm in. First come, first serve, easy. But and that was great too, because they opened up the entire park at like 6 a.m. I got everything done in an hour.
Yeah, those were the days, huh? Yeah.
Oh man, that was so great.
I like it. You were talking about mentioned Haunted Mansion earlier. This is kind of going off the subject, but I was just fascinated by this, and I shared it. I had some friends share it with me, and I shared it with you, and we got kind of excited. There's a bar in Portland, Oregon, that's just opened. It's called Raven's Manor, and in all the news clips and everything you see posted online, it refers to it as a quote unquote haunted mansion themed bar.
Ooh, I'm
now
on board.
They obviously can't, do it exactly like Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
But it kind of works its way into the marketing and into online conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at this place, and it just opened up. And you go on their landing page on their website, and it says, grab a lab coat and brew eerie cocktails in Dr. Raven's elixir experience.
I'm looking at some of the photos here. It looks interesting.
So Disney can do their themed bars, but man, they can do those anywhere.
Oh, I'm so bummed about the Tower of Terror bar that never happened.
Yeah.
In Florida, I think there was talk of when you get off the ride, they were gonna put like a lounge or a bar there. I don't think it was gonna be that big, because I don't think they have enough space. And I think that's ultimately why it ended up getting scrapped. But oh my god, yeah, that'd be so cool. Just like a haunted. Yeah, I want to go to a haunted bar.
I want to go to a haunted bar, and that's, I mean, is that kind of a trend right now? I think we're seeing more and more of them pop up, or at least, or maybe it's just getting our attention because it's based on stuff that we're really into. But if you actually want to go to this bar, it's the ravensmanorexperience.com, and again, it's in Portland, Oregon, and they have like absinthe cocktails,
Oh, you got it.
and what is this? It's called. It's called Lingering Shadow. It's fired absinthe, creme de violette, black Luxardo cherries,
Ooh.
and topped with champagne.
That sounds good. Your favorite cherries that you love so much.
I do. You know, I like them. I just don't see the appeal to paying $20 a jar for them.
And I don't see the appeal in a whiskey-based cocktail. Just give me a rock.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Of crack.
Anyway, but I've seen the pictures of the inside of this place, Ravens Manor, and the decor. I went to go to there, and you know, even here in Vegas, in my hometown, they're doing a bar that's it's based on horror movies.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. It's called the Nightmare Cafe, and it's coming soon. We don't have an exact date yet, but this is actually going to be an extension of an existing business there called Nightmare Toys, which sells, horror collectibles, film memorabilia, and things like that. And it's been such a huge success downtown, in the Las Vegas downtown arts district, that they're expanding it, and they are now going to have a horror themed bar and restaurant. And again, I want to go to there, and you need to make a visit here to Vegas so we can go.
Oh yeah, once I need to look at like the shows and everything, because I want to do like I want to do the corny tourist stuff. Like I want to go see David Copperfield and do that and just spend the time there doing that stuff. And I know it's corny and bad, but that's why I want to do it.
I like going downtown. I love the Fremont Street experience, and everyone wants to go to the Strip, and the Strip is great, and there's some absolutely amazing places to go on there. But I love downtown.
The Strip does not have Biff's Hotel from Back to the Future.
That's very true. That's very true. But there's just enough remnants of old cheesy Vegas in downtown that I really really enjoy.
I know it's like you're a local there. But I like the Strip just because of it's so themed. It's almost like Epcot, Mm-hmm. There's people drinking in the streets. You can go to a different country everywhere you go. It's just, I'm just not a fan of it in general.
I mean, that was a trend that Vegas actually, I mean, this is going back like 30 years now, in the late 80s, early 90s. That's when everything got weird with theming, and you had places like the Mirage and later Treasure Island, mm-hmm. the Excalibur, the Luxor, all of these themed hotels and resorts popped up, and was at a time when Vegas was trying to make themselves more family friendly.
Yeah, that was a weird
and that
time.
was not a good idea.
No, because it's there was like, you look at all like the rides that were even there that are gone. I think like most of the Stratosphere rides are out now.
Yeah, there's still they still have the big shot, the one that goes straight up in the air.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, and I believe they still have the one that hangs out over the edge. They got rid of the high roller, which was a roller coaster.
That roller coaster, which was kind of a lame roller coaster, but it was just
it just went in circles, and it was a little bit of a thrill because you're so way up high. I like doing the big shot at night. That was the best time to do it.
I wouldn't spend money to do that during the day. You're not going to get that's a nighttime thing to get the view of that. But
definitely.
No, it's I like that.
Yeah, but anyway, that was really where the theming thing blew up with Vegas, and then they got, I don't know, more conventional, if you want to call that, and you have places like City Center with the Aria and
mm-hmm.
and all of those places there that are a little less themed and more modern. The Cosmopolitan is in there.
I like Cosmopolitan.
And now we're seeing, maybe not so much on the Strip, but in areas like off the Strip, like we're seeing here with this themed restaurant,
mm-hmm.
Downtown. That's where you're seeing the fun theming little, kind of off the beaten path kind of stuff. And that's kind of exciting.
I know
I think
the two things I want to do next time I get down there are they're not on the Strip, is the Neon Museum thing where they have that. That seems pretty cool to me.
Highly recommend the Neon Museum.
And then the other one I want to go to.
I've been there. I've been there 3 or 4 times, and it's a kick.
And then have you done the Pinball Museum?
Yes.
Is that cool?
In fact, our friends, Tina and Chad, one of the last times that they were here, this is going back a few years ago, Chad is a huge pinball enthusiast. And that was like on his list. It's like, we have to go there. And at the time, I had not even heard of the place.
Yeah, I've known about this for years. I just never have gotten to it.
And we went down there, and again, it's off the Strip. It's like a couple of miles east of the Strip, and I think
they might have moved.
I've got to check now. I don't know if they're still in the same location. I know that they were in the process of moving to a new location because they were expanding, because they were that popular. But they had all these great vintage pinball machines, and just in pristine condition. And yeah, you drop in your quarter and go crazy.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's the other thing I need to get to there. Just do those 2 things at least. My boyfriend, I mentioned that I want to go to Vegas. He's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to gamble. I go, I don't want to gamble. I want to do all the corny stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. Years ago, and I don't know how the ranking is now, I remember reading a ranking of why people come to Vegas, and gambling was like 5th on the list. I mean, first is, just the whole Vegas experience, being on the Strip and all that. But I mean, people went there for entertainment. They went there for dining. They went there for shopping. But gambling was like 4th or 5th. It's not the reason people come here. You can gamble in just about anywhere in the United States. I think, like I said, what Utah and Hawaii are maybe the only places where you can't do some sort of gambling.
Yeah.
So that's not the big deal anymore. But all the other stuff, just the whole big touristy, glorious cheesiness of Vegas is an attraction unto itself.
The number one reason I read is that everybody's there to see the Aerosmith Deuces Are Wild residency.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just like the only reason that people go to Disney MGM Studios is for Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, 100%. I still love on that ride, like when you're like getting ready to launch, they're like, "All right, everybody, here we go. Yeah, the traffic's going." Yeah, and then like at one point, the guy's like, "And did you see Steven Tyler's new hat?" And it's like, I don't know. Is he known for wearing a hat?
I don't know. It was a joke that probably had relevance 20 years ago or however long ago
I don't know. But since we're talking about like themed bars and themed experiences, I have to mention this because again, I am a Universal stan. So I kind of explained this to you because you're not as familiar with Universal Florida as I am, but
I struggle with Disneyland these days. Okay, are you kidding? Go ahead.
Well, honestly, I think Universal Florida to me is like the Disneyland of the East Coast, and even though they have Disney World, because Universal Florida is right there, and Islands of Adventure is a walking distance away. They have like the same almost relationship with each other as Disneyland and California Adventure do. To me, it's a nice, you can just go over it. I treat them as one park almost. And I think legally on paper they are, because they didn't want to apply for a liquor license for both parks. So I think on paper they're at the one park. But anyway, one thing that they do obviously is Halloween Horror Nights, and when they do that, they have a dedicated store to the Halloween Horror Night merchandise. I mean, you can get at their other ones too, but they have one dedicated one every year. It's super themed inside. It's in reference to the houses and stuff that they have. So like last time I went, they had a Stranger Things room where they had like the stuff floating around like in the underground, and they had just things standing up there. But they've started now to rotate that, where it's not just a Halloween Horror Night store and then close the rest of the year. They also have Mardi Gras, which is a festival that they do every year, and they had a Mardi Gras store, which is super themed inside. They did a Christmas tribute store, which is themed inside. And right now, because they have the Velocicoaster that's set to open up, I believe, on June 22nd, that store is now the Jurassic World tribute store. And inside is amazing from the photos I've seen. So they have they do like gummy candies. Like there's like a candy like thing you can buy there. And like they did that in for Halloween, and it was Beating Hearts, where they had like Like, it was like gummy hearts, and then there was like I think it was like a metal thing that would just poke up every once in a while underneath it. So you had all these look like they were all just beating hearts, and they were just gummy, and they'd give it to you. But right now it's gummy amber from like the Jurassic Park, the gold kind of where the mosquitoes are stuck in.
That he had at the end of his walking stick. Yes.
So they have these gummy candies, and then inside, I think it's clear, and you can see there's like a bug inside. And I think I follow Alicia Stella on Twitter. She is, if you're really into Universal stuff, she's like my go-to source for it. I think she's Park Stop, I think is her website. She has some great photos of the gummies, of the gummy candy and everything in there. They also have like some screen-used props, like the Barbasol can from the first Jurassic Park.
Very good.
They also have raptors set up for like, I mean, it's like a selfie Instagram just dream in there. You can take a lot of photo opportunities. Like, so got like Triceratops in there. They got raptors in there. They got like the John Hammond statue from Jurassic World in there.
Very cool.
It's really.
I want to go there.
I know, and like I'm kind of whatever about Jurassic World, especially since the last one. But it looks so cool.
and you've stopped liking things with Chris Pratt in them anyway.
I'm just burnt out. No, but I think theme parks are doing for Jurassic World what theme parks did for me in Avatar, where I didn't really care too much about these things. Like Avatar, I didn't hate it. I really loved it. It was a really cool movie to see in theaters. I'll give it that. It was probably one of my most memorable movie-going experiences, but the movie itself fell flat. But now Animal Kingdom has this giant, Pandora world, which changed my mind on Avatar. And now I think Universal is just doing the same thing now with Jurassic World. with their new ride.
And James Cameron has like eight new Avatar movies in production now or something.
Oh my God. The rides we're going to get from there. Oh. I'm a blue cat person. And that will do it for this episode of the Mouse Castle Lounge. Don't forget to visit us at themousecastle.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and now apparently TikTok at the Mouse Castle, and on Twitter at Mouse Castle Show. I told Tim, I hope you have better luck figuring out TikTok than I do. For me, that was my cutoff of I'm too old to understand this. So good luck.
You have to, to be successful on TikTok, you have to be young, dumb, and have a spectacular ass.
I'm one of those things.
We have two of those three,
I feel like with TikTok, I think the people significantly younger than me understand it, and for some reason, people who are older than me understand it. I'm in just this weird spot of ignorance where I've downloaded it like 3 times and I've undownloaded it the same amount.
I don't want people to get excited where you and I are not going to be doing like billiard tricks or being cruel to young women for no particular reason. Really, all I'm putting on there now is audio clips. Have a reason or reason or not. We're just putting audio clips on there right now, and there may be other stuff. I'm tinkering around with video. We'll see. I don't know, and there's a very good chance that this will be the one time we mention that we're on TikTok and we will never speak of it again. It'll just disappear. It's like, oh, you had a TikTok account? No, he didn't.
Rein in your expectations if you go there. Right now,
that's right.
You can follow us, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Right now, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter are the best ways to go with that.
Yeah, we're everywhere, I guess.
We're everywhere. We're fine podcasts are presented. So you can find the podcast too on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please subscribe. Follow us. Follow Anthony at 2E717. If you want to follow my personal account, I'm Vegas Voice Actor on Twitter. There you go. There's no excuse for people not to find us anymore.
Oh God, there's a knock on my door.
Who is it?
I don't know. I gotta go. Oh my God.
And with that, we'll catch you next time inside the Mouse Castle Lounge.
See ya.